Welcome back to the Primal Reset podcast. Today, we're joined by Katie White, the co-founder of For Health's Sake and a registered massage therapist. She started a corporate wellness business before opening her own clinic to build up to 2 multidisciplinary clinics and 1 franchise. Katie, it's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Elliot. Pleasure to be
Of
here.
course. Share with me the start of getting into the wellness industry and starting with your business partner For Health's Sake.
I'm a massage therapist with about 16 years experience. I started my career in a rehab clinic setting, working more closely with physios and gaining a strong foundation in Western clinical care. But then over time, I kind of felt more of a pull towards more holistic, natural approach to healing, one that aligned with Eastern medicine philosophies and focus on treating the whole person and not just a symptom. So that shift led me to the wellness space where I envisioned working with a team of like-minded practitioners who value a more integrative approach to health. So my business partner, Chloe, also a massage therapist, and we both met, we worked at a physio clinic previously. We became friends and often talked about what was missing in the healthcare space. So pre-COVID, most corporate employees who needed treatment simply didn't have time to get it due to their long work hours and the commute to and from work. So it's kind of funny, it's happened one night over wine at my house. Chloe had literally just quit her job that day. And we talked about starting something on our own. So we saw this gap in the wellness industry, basically of a business that would bring massage therapy to the office. So bring the clinic to the client. So we launched the idea in 2018, offering massage in the workplace. And then, like I said, bringing literally the clinic to the clients. Every experience other than obviously the atmosphere you get in a clinic, into their workplace. So from there, everything evolved. 6 months into it, we decided to find our own brick and mortar space, which is now our first clinic. We never had any intention of opening a clinic at the time, but it just happened. We were super busy with the corporate massage business. We serviced around 30 companies in downtown Toronto. So we hired other massage therapists to help take on that really. So we were able to treat clients out of our own space. So then COVID hit, which put a pause on our mobile business for obvious reasons. So what started as a mobile corporate massage business has now grown into a multidisciplinary wellness franchise. And we've expanded and adapted to meet the needs of our clients and communities. So coming from Western-based practices, we first added chiro, physio, and then we began integrating more Eastern modalities like acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. And then as we grew, we found the missing piece was the mind-body connection. So that's when we added psychotherapy, and then from there came osteopathy and naturopathic medicine. So we've learned that no single approach works for everybody, and that's why we built a space that offers diverse paths to healing and one-stop shop wellness space where people can access care that they're familiar with. We have something for everybody. And I love that because, some people have more of a Western mindset, some people have more of an Eastern mindset. But then when they come into our space, maybe they're more open to trying something that they're not familiar with, and then they find healing that actually works through that.
I love that. I love the personalization to every single person. I mean, like you said, some people are more Western based and believe in that system, and some people are more Eastern based and believe in that system as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious to ask, what got you to bring more of the Eastern side into your business as well as a service?
I honestly just kind of went down that path myself. I got super into essential oils and the healing properties with that kind of stuff. And then I had left the physio clinic that I was working at to work in a more wellness, in multidisciplinary space that was more focused on Eastern practices. And so I think it was just this pull I felt towards that. And I really believe in it. And I just wanted to have this space too, where Chloe she was more Western. And then I kind of grew more into the Eastern side. And then we didn't like working in a clinical setting, something that looks medical and feels medical, like white walls, fluorescent lights. It's just not our vibe. So we had this vision of a space where we could offer both Eastern and Western practices, but in a really like warm, inviting space that's actually calming and relaxing. It plays a
Interesting.
huge part in it.
What would you say, what results have you seen that are better than the other, Eastern or Western?
I think it really depends on what someone's coming in for. Even like I've seen people with chronic pain come in, and one of our physios actually, who's no longer with us, she's in her own private practice now, but she completely went from like a Western based mentality and practice to a very Eastern, and really connecting the mind with the body in terms of trauma and chronic pain. And like we literally would have people like just raving about her approach and how they just couldn't believe that just like kind of working through the mental aspect has literally like changed their life, and it like takes their pain away.
Interesting. So, very personalized to every single person.
Yeah,
Obviously, not everyone's body is the same. And that's
yeah,
kind of where all this generic information we hear from every single day is not necessarily helpful. It's helpful to
yeah,
some, but not to all.
yeah.
Um,
And not everybody's open to it either, right? Like trauma really is stored in the body. Like it's like physically in your tissue, but some people, they don't believe that, or they're not open to it. So it's not for everybody. Some people will go see somebody like that and they're like, this is crazy. I don't believe in it. And then they want to stick to their Western practices, which is fine. But yeah, I really think that it depends on what somebody's coming in for or coming in with, their symptoms. But sometimes we can refer them to people that they wouldn't even think that they would go to for certain things, like even anxiety. Like you can actually acupuncture, traditional Chinese acupuncture can actually help reduce anxiety. Most people wouldn't think something like that.
wow.
Yeah.
Would you go a step further and say if people don't believe in what service that you guys provide, whether it's Eastern or Western,
hmm
it won't work or it won't work nearly as much?
I don't think so. I don't think it will.
Because I mean, I grew up in the same way where my mom was very involved in the Eastern side and was curious about it and tried, craniosacral and some
Yeah.
acupuncture and some other stuff like that as well. And I never really believed in it. So whenever, I had that service, it didn't necessarily work, at least to its full effect
Yeah.
on me until I really started embracing, okay, maybe this is going to work a bit more. And,
Yeah.
I was more lenient on the Western side. That's what I grew up with. That's what I was
Yeah.
around every
Hockey
single
player,
day.
right?
And yeah, absolutely, I'd popping, Advil, ibuprofen every single day. So
Yeah.
to take me off of that was definitely a difficult journey for myself. Um, but with that mindset of, if someone walks into your clinic and comes with the idea that Western is the only way to go, there's no point in even going to an Eastern side service,
Yeah.
and then vice
I
versa.
I think there's a difference between believing in it and being open to it. And if you can at least be open to it, then it could work for you. But if you don't believe in it and you're not open to it, it's not going to work for you.
Absolutely. It's mindset is a lot more powerful than we might think.
It is. Yeah, definitely.
Bringing it to more on the business side of things,
Yeah.
being a co-founder of For Health's Sake, what was one of the most significant challenges starting in 2018 that you faced in your business, and how were you able to overcome?
Other than having a corporate massage company going through COVID, that clearly, like at the time, thank God we had our brick and mortar space, because if we didn't, we literally wouldn't have had a business anymore. Like no one was going to the office, and even still, it's changed. So that was a heavy one for us because we were doing really well with it, but we kind of just had to pivot and just go with the flow of what we had. And so that was definitely a challenging time. I mean, for a lot of people, but definitely for that side of our business. But I would say one of the toughest challenges we've faced is hiring, especially for like more high demand roles like massage therapists, chiropractors, and physios. And I'm talking about the ones who are the right fit for us, not just anybody. But these roles, they're very highly competitive, and commission rates across the industry have risen a lot over the years, ever since I've started. Like the last 15 years, it's completely different from what it was before. So it puts a lot of pressure on business owners because while we always want to stay competitive, we also want to stay fair to our current team and not create gaps or resentment by offering more out of desperation. So we lead with integrity and focus on the long-term value of being part of a team. And I mean, sure, some clinics they're going to offer higher pay, but what they don't always offer is things like we do is mentorship, community, and growth opportunities, which we deeply value. And sometimes people just don't see that until they're a part of it. Another
Yeah,
big
that's
challenge I
awesome.
can share, yeah. Another big challenge I can share is that we're still working on this. We're always going to be working on this with practitioners, but I think to your point, like we were talking about earlier, with just being like I forget what it was that you mentioned, but it did make me think of this point. But it's our practitioners getting out of that salesy where you said people practitioners want to help people, right? So they're here to help people. They're not here to like sell something to them. So it's completely different personalities we're usually working with. So we want to get them out of that salesy mindset around rebooking. And it's not something schools prepare them for. So they leave with the technical skills to treat clients and often lack the confidence to guide them and on why and when they need to come back. But here's the truth is people don't know when to return unless you tell them. So it's the same thing as you don't get a prescription from a doctor without them telling you how many to take, how often to take it, for how long, and when you should start to feel better. So if you're not sharing those types of things with your clients, you're not going to get any results. They're not going to come back. So rebooking isn't selling. We always try to say it's serving. And it's a bit of a process. You're literally trying to rewire brains and thinking to help people understand that rebooking is a form of service and not a sales tactic. So we made progress. We're still working on it, but it's definitely an ongoing part of our leadership and training approach.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a different mindset to think that way, where especially in the wellness industry, no matter what you do, when you get approached with, hey, like this is a good time to come back, it's not necessarily we're looking for more of your money. It's we're looking
Yeah,
to help you still. Like
yeah,
that you're not done. Like you're a lot of people that I've spoken with kind of want that end result and they want it
yeah,
once and they kind of they're done with it. Hey, I did it one time, it's perfect, we're done.
yeah,
And the biggest part with wellness is we're constantly evolving, we're constantly adapting, we're constantly changing, and
yeah,
our bodies are changing. Trauma has changed every single day. There's drama every single day, and
yeah,
sometimes people go through some bad things later in life as well. And that's where the wellness journey doesn't stop. It's a
yeah.
journey for a reason. It's
It
every
is.
single day, every single day.
It
But
is.
to the point of hiring, I mean, it seems like you guys have done a phenomenal job with over 700 five-star Google reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. So kudos to how you've kind of overcame that challenge of your hiring process and really getting people involved with the mission and not necessarily a sales approach of this is where I can make money.
Yeah, totally. And like, yeah, the challenging part of the hiring is just there's just so much demand out there, and you never want to. We always want to lead with integrity, and we never want to just pay somebody higher than we're paying our current team just so we can get somebody. We never want to hire somebody who's the wrong fit just so we can fill a role, just so we can get people in the door. It's just like we always want to maintain that integrity. We want to be authentic and we want to have the right people who are the right fit to our team.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more on that one.
Yeah.
Um, to getting, healthy, to trying to prevent getting sick, how important would you say is the mindset when it comes to getting healthy? And are there any tricks to have better habits?
Yeah, mindset, it's everything when it comes to getting healthy. And we see it all the time at the clinic when somebody comes in with the belief that change is possible, even if it's hard. It makes a huge difference in how they show up for themselves. So one of the biggest mindset shifts we try to support is moving away from the all or nothing thinking. So you don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight. It's small, consistent changes really do add up. And we're big believers in giving yourself some grace along the way too. I'd say like a few things we often suggest just to give some little like tips or tricks like you're asking. Healthy habits to make them stick is just starting small and stack something onto something you already do or replacing an old habit with a new habit. So like stretch while you're making your coffee, do breath work while you're in the car, going to work, little things like that. Put it in your calendar. If it's scheduled, it's real. Like put little, like have little notifications even pop up on your phone. Get up while you're sitting in your chair for how many hours a day, working from home or at the office. Get up, go take a break, take a walk, get some water. Um, Treat it like an appointment. Track your progress in ways that feel good. Could be like journaling, could be using an app, or just checking in even with your practitioner, whatever kind of keeps you motivated. And then celebrating the little wins. So progress is progress no matter what. And sometimes just showing up is something to be proud of. So we're here to support people, not just with the what, but with the how. So because real lasting change comes from shifting your mindset and building habits that actually work for your life.
I love that. I love that. It's definitely a process, and to kind of have that first step every day. Like I said earlier, we're not looking for the end result from day one. Let's
Yeah,
start with one thing. Let's
yeah,
celebrate the little wins and let's keep going.
exactly.
It's a journey, it's a process. So to get to that end result is going to take some time, and just focus on the small things and celebrate
Yeah.
it too. Like you
And you'll
said,
have
if
little,
showing up is the first thing,
mhm,
show up,
yeah,
and then we can work from
exactly.
there.
And you're going to have little hiccups along the way, and you're not going to be consistent every day, but you got to just keep going. Don't fall off the wagon.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, we kind of went through the first step, and that was my next question.
Yeah.
But what's your approach to kind of keep that uniqueness of client experience that sets your business apart from others?
What we do at our clinic is but like, are you talking about more, you're not talking about the marketing part of it, right? Just like what sets us apart?
Yeah, what sets you apart? I mean, client experience wise, when someone comes to you, what sets you apart to really, have that client experience the best they possibly can?
Okay, yeah, so great question. And to, I guess, like what I was talking about earlier with how multidisciplinary we are and how we feel like we have something for everybody. But really what sets us apart is that I think we do have, the Western, Eastern, and then the mental and physical. But we also recognize that that can be very overwhelming for people. So some people, they might go on our website or our booking site and they're like, well, I have knee pain or I have a shoulder injury, like who do I see for what I have going on? Because there's so many different options. What's an osteopath? What's, the difference between a chiropractor and a physiotherapist? So while many of our practitioners are cross-trained and capable of treating multiple issues, we know that healing isn't a one size fits all. And so it's all about finding the right fit. So that's why we also have what we have, and we think that this is also what sets us apart. We have a client care coordinator, and they offer complimentary consultations to guide clients towards the right practitioner based on their unique needs, their goals, and their personality. So we focus on the connection just as much as the care. And that's what creates a meaningful experience from the very first interaction.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, thank you. I think that we felt like we started this when we first started it, we didn't see any other clinics who were doing it, but now there are more multidisciplinary clinics out there, more that are offering mental health that ever did before. We feel like in Toronto we were one of the first. But now we do see that other clinics seem to be offering this, like, it's almost like a concierge. Like, speak with them, tell them what you've got going on, and then even based on vibe, whatever they're looking for. Have you seen a physio in the past? Some people might be like, yeah, I have. And I'm like, I'm not open to a physio. It didn't work for me. So it's just educating them on who we have and who might help them and who might be the best fit for them for what they've got going on
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
who
I
to
mean,
start with too.
yeah, personalization is the most important thing. Something in the past that might not have worked might work now. But at the
Hmm.
same time, if like we kind of went back to the belief system, if you're not believing, if a physio is not something that you want to do anymore, you don't believe in it, then maybe we don't go in the physio route. Maybe we go to someone else as well. Um,
Exactly.
Looking ahead, what is the biggest opportunity or challenge for wellness businesses within the next 5 years?
I would say one of the biggest opportunities for wellness businesses is to create more integrated, personalized care to what we've been talking about that truly meets people where they're at. So emotionally, physically, mentally, they're becoming more informed. They've got the internet. They see all these things. They're like, what's the best for me? They're looking for support that's more holistic and deeply human. So there's a huge opening for clinics like ours to build trust by offering coordinated care across disciplines in a way that feels more cohesive and connected. So at the same time, a major challenge is staying grounded in our values. And as an industry gets noisier, there's a growing push towards wellness as a product. There's flashy tech, there's trends and quick fixes. And while some of that can be exciting or useful, it's easy to lose sight of what actually helps people in a sustainable way. So for us, the goal is to stay anchored in what we know works, and that's relationship-based care, a supportive team culture, and a genuine focus on client well-being. So not just selling the next thing, and balancing innovation with integrity will be key.
I love that. It's definitely an exciting time looking ahead, especially with the wellness industry. More people kind of moving towards it and moving towards more of a proactive care.
Yeah.
There's definitely some exciting times coming up. So I'm interested to see what happens as well. Last question, and I always end with this: where can people find more information? Where can they find your brick and mortars and more services from you? What's your social media handles as well?
So our website is forhealthsake.ca. There's two S's, healthsake.ca. And our Instagram handle is at for.healths, HELTHS .sake, SAKE. And then from our website, there's a booking site page that's connected to that as well.
Awesome. And I'll have that all below in the description as well. So if there's anyone out there, especially in the Toronto area, who's looking for any services that Katie can provide or for Health's Sake can provide for you and get that personalized care, go check them out. Click on the links below. Reach out to Katie. I know she's more than happy to help as well.
And our
But
locations, I forgot to share that. So we've got one location downtown at Queen and Spadina. We've got another one in the East End in Leslieville at Queen and Leslie. And then we also, our franchise is in the West End on the Kingsway.
awesome. Awesome. So all over the Toronto area, you
Yeah.
don't have to be downtown necessarily to go see them, but go check them out. Katie, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks so much, Elliot.